Let's begin a new chapter today. Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom, Chapter 2 of First Flight. Children, it is a very touching account of the horrible atrocities and oppression inflicted by the heartless white rulers on the innocent black natives in South Africa. The regime adopted a policy called apartheid that created one of the harshest systems of racial discrimination in the world. Mandela shares a few of his bitter experiences during his struggle against apartheid, along with the overwhelming emotions he experienced when a democratic era was finally ushered in after years of struggle. This chapter, children, explores the idea of struggle, setback, renewed hopes, and ultimate triumph of truth. Its theme is summed up in the last sentence of the extract that is given to us, which is, "The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity." And with this, we are going to begin our chapter today. Children, the chapter is an extract from Nelson Mandela's autobiography and takes the reader back to May 10, 1994, when Mandela was sworn in as the first black president of democratic South Africa. This historic day was clear and bright, with dignitaries from all over the world coming over gradually to felicitate him. The inauguration ceremony of the installation of the South Africa's first democratic non-racial government was to be held in a sandstone amphitheatre in Pretoria. This building had been the seat of white supremacy for decades, but on this day it was thronged by people of varied colors and races from different nations. On this day, children, Mandela was accompanied by his daughter Zenani, and his swearing in was preceded by that of Mr. De Klerk as the second deputy president and Mr. Thabo Mbeki as the first deputy president. Nelson Mandela pledged to obey and uphold the constitution of his republic. He also swore to devote himself to the well-being of his republic and its people. In his inaugural speech, children, Mandela equated the centuries-old misrule of the whites to an extraordinary human disaster. He promised to bring up a society of which all humanity would be proud. He expressed a sense of pride over the fact that the blacks, who had been considered as outlaws till then, were host to so many nations of the world. He expressed his gratitude to all the dignitaries for having participated in the common victory for justice, peace, and human dignity. He further added that they had achieved political emancipation and were now taking the pledge to free all their people from the shackles of poverty, suffering, deprivation, gender, and other types of discrimination. He closed his address with the wish that freedom reigns and rules and Africa be blessed by God. On the very day, children, an impressive display of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers added to the spectrum of the inauguration ceremony. Mandela termed it as an exhibition of military loyalty to the newly formed democratic government. When saluted by the military generals, Mandela pointed out the shift in their attitude. These decorated officers who had just saluted him as the new president and pledged loyalty to his government would have arrested him not many years ago. The grand ceremony came to a close with the Impala jets leaving a trail of the bright colors that formed the new South African flag. Then, children, on that symbolic day, two national anthems were played. The white sang Nkosi Sikelel I Africa and the blacks Die Stem. Mandela knew that although the two groups had once despised each other's anthem, they would soon memorize both. Till here, children, we are going to do today.